Roses are red, violets are blue. I've got body, and so do you. Taught to woo the gaze of men whose taste changes 10 out of 10. 20 desirable bodies in the last century, trying to be all of that almost sent me to the cemetery. But I've got body. Try to remember that the gaze you must desire should come from the mirror when you look at your favorite attire. Embrace yourself at every stage, because one thing about a woman's body, it will always change. So, yeah, this is sort of a witty kind of take to what the episode's about. It really is just the fact that your body is ever changing, especially as a female. And a lot of the time we change according to what the body standard is, and what the body standard is usually internationally is set by the men. It's set by what men want, and not necessarily how females feel or what females want. And that's not to say that if you got a banging body you did it for a man. No, you just are categorized as having a banging body by men. I hope that makes sense. Like, if you don't get it, forget about it. But anyway, thank you guys. It's a new piece. I'd started it and then I lost it. So please, guys, when they say memory card, it's a thing. Duplicates are a thing. So yeah, but I hope you enjoy. What's good, everybody? Welcome to Misunderstood, your judgment-free zone with your girl, your favorite blast from the past, Soko from last night, LSG to Sam, Eastering Sale movie, and the LOS if you know me like that. Welcome on set. I'm glad to have you with me, have you with us. Today, if you are a crew member and you're coming back, thank you so much for the love. Thank you for coming back. If you are not a crew member and you happen to like what you hear, like what you see, go ahead and subscribe, follow, like, tell your brother, your sister, your uncle, your friend, and their siblings too that you heard somebody cool on the other side. Right? One thing about me, I will be my own hype man. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. But yeah, tell your brother, your sister, your cousin, your friend, your boyfriends, girlfriends, and their brothers to come over on set, and let's see what's happening on this Misunderstood. Today, my episode is a little bit more witty than anything, I think. A little bit more satire, maybe. It is very well positioned that it's just after the Met Gala. So if you saw the name of the episode, it's I've Got Body and So Do You. And I was inspired to try and create this episode just based on the trends that I've been seeing on social media and on YouTube, as well as the reality of being a female in a female body, and really unreal and unattainable beauty standards, and what that does to female psyche, what that does to male psyche. Of course, I don't have enough knowledge about what happens in the male psyche. I only know what I've seen and what I've heard. So look, man, if you're a male and you're trying to come on up here and you're trying to tell us how it is, when you get a growth spurt, which I think might be painful because, growing pains are a thing. If you want to come through and have us chop it up about your journey, come on through, okay? I'm going to speak from a female perspective because that's the only perspective I know. And I feel like I don't want to speak on other people's journeys or experiences. So, Met Gala, right? Everything's all glitz and glam, everything's all beautiful. But when you hear some of the preparations that these females and maybe sometimes even these men go through for one night where apparently they don't eat. Apparently kitty finger foods. Like you're wearing Dolce and Gabbana from head to toe. You did your eye makeup, you did the flowers, and then batlo khofale gwenya. Ugh. Okay, but then again, that's why some people sneak food in, but that's not the point. The measures in which the females go. So if you're everybody who watches YouTube at some or other point to listen to some pop culture or whatever, you have passed this celebrity craze. And I say celebrity craze because really to me and you it doesn't make no sense. And that is this amazing pen, Ozempic, or whatever else it's called. It's got semaglutide, as long as it's semaglutide. So for those of you that have been living under a rock, semaglutide is originally created for people that have diabetes, and it's sold mainly in America, Mounjaro, Ozempic, and I've completely forgot the other one, what it's called. But the purpose is for it to help people with diabetes balance their blood sugar levels. And as a side effect, it's been found that you lose a lot of weight when you are on it because it suppresses your hunger, right? Remember, diabetes type 1 and type 2. Type 2 is considered a lifestyle disease. So once you have it, I don't know if you can reverse it completely, but you can definitely reduce drastically the impact it has on your life if you do change your lifestyle and take your medication. Underscore take your medication. Now it seems like this semaglutide has been caught on that you lose drastic amounts of weight very quickly and you don't get hungry. Okay? You don't get hungry, please. They are not fasting. They are not intermediate fasting. They're just not eating. Just to fit into a size 0 dress for one night where you're also going to eat a leguenya and then come out of there and have a hissy fit if your pictures are not filtered. I don't get it. And then I think about when I was a teenager and suddenly I get it. So, stages of life that Elo definitely didn't prepare us for as females. I think the earliest Elo lesson that I remember, grade 7 Elo lesson. I remember that because it was the first time the infamous word of menstruation and puberty came into play, and I was in a co-ed primary school, so you can imagine we're all nothing but 12 or so, and now this is talking about menstruation. Some of us have menstruated at that point and some of us haven't, but let me tell you something for nothing. The textbooks haven't changed. They're going to tell me, or they still tell you, that you store fat around your hips. Your hips widen so that you can have childbirth. Your breasts grow, and your uterus reminds you every month that you did not get pregnant. I'm not sure if that's a reward or if it's a punishment at this point. However, it's not just your hips that widen. It's your shoulders just a little bit. Your waist starts to get smaller. Your thighs get smaller. You lose the baby fat, right? Now I was a skinny child. There was no baby fat to lose. Okay, I'm gonna give it to you straight. People have baby fat. I was a vegetarian for about 10 years of my life because I hated the taste of chicken livers, and for some reason I thought all meat tasted like chicken livers. So I was vegetarian. Didn't have a very big appetite. So you can imagine I was skinny. I had my growth spurt early. I stopped growing in grade 7. Funny enough, I have been the same height as I've been, maybe even shorter, since I was 13 years of age. 12 years of age, actually. But, yeah, I recall one time they had not explained to us yet how do you manage your mood swings. By the way, does anybody know how to manage your mood swings? I am this big of age and I'm still not entirely sure how to manage my mood swings without just eating when I'm ovulating. So they don't tell you about that as well. They don't tell you that before the actual menstruation, there's a whole period in which you think anybody, everybody, and everything sucks, including yourself. And I wish somebody had told me about it, because then I would have been able to mark a calendar. I don't mark a calendar even now, but still, it's a nice thought, you know? So, like I said, I was skinny. When I hit puberty, I started to gather some shape, some body fat, if you will. And at this time, I had very strong ties still to a co-ed school. And so what boys liked at the time did trickle down to me. I didn't care. I cared what the other girls thought of me, which is weird. But everybody was losing their baby fat and I was gaining weight. I had never gained weight. I was a size 32, by the way. I thought I was an elephant when I got to size 32. And this is 13, 14-year-old me dealing with the fact that now I have curves. Never had them before. Now I have thighs. Never had them before. Boobs are incredibly painful and nobody told you. You know what I mean? So my teen years were very shaky. For a lot of the time, I firstly was embarrassed that I was gaining weight when people were losing weight. And I wish I had just taken a seat and looked at the genetics in my family. There was no way that I was not gonna have a frame from both sides of my family. Listen, I was doomed from the start. But that did not stop me from going to jog. Yes, 32, size 32 pants. And I'm jogging. Jogging what fat? I don't know, but it felt good to feel like you're doing something, right? Wrong. I was just tired and sore and saw absolutely no results. Until I changed my eating drastically, and then I got what was infinitely known as a bullet hole. I still need to find out the person that said that that thing was cool. For those of you that don't know what a bullet hole is, it means your thighs are thick enough for you to have shape, but thin enough for you to have a small gap in between the start of your thighs and your pubic area. Yes, we stood in front of mirrors and checked if we had one. Yes, I fought until I had one. Yes, I did have one and still was very miserable. Why? Because I kept gaining weight. So I started to hide. Going to an all-girls school helped a lot. I was able to hide in peace, number one, but I was also able to come out of my shell just a little bit because I was protected. These people did not know who I was before. I went to a school where no one knew me, by the way, when I went to high school. No one knew me. There was no reference as to what I should look like because we're all girls and we're all going through the same exact challenge. Listen, I wore back to school like I wear back to school now. I left the baby oil. Was it baby oil or baby gel? I don't remember that. There was a thing that was now taking over lip gloss. I think it was baby gel or baby oil or something like that. But it was very shiny and glossy. No, when I got to high school, wore an oversized dress, kaitata zambak, and put my hair up. You know, that was that. And for that period of time, I don't think I appreciated how I was able to let my body lead me. You know, I'm not saying pick up terrible habits. You know, I have a sweet tooth. That is an issue for me. So to counter that, I try and drink a lot of water and also just manage the amount of sugar that I have around me. But nobody told me that. You know, I thought I was going to jog till kingdom come and I was going to go back to being size 32. No, I was a size 34. By the time I left high school, I was a good size 34. By the time I left high school, most of my attention had been on figuring out what the hell is happening with my body and my leg in 55 different braces at the time. So I didn't care what size I was. I didn't care what size I had become because getting around, going around was more important. And I think a lot of us lose that, is that your body is a vessel. Yes, if you don't like how it is at the moment, take into mind that hormonal changes happen to females and to males. Ain't nobody born with a rugby figure. Okay? I'm gonna tell you that for free. Whose mother must birth somebody with a rugby figure? Okay? Do you get what I mean? So I wish I had been in my body more, because as soon as I left high school, it went downhill from there. I went from a size 34 to a size 36 because I didn't exercise. Exercise was painful. But then I would swap, like alternate. At my heaviest, I have been a size 38. Note I'm referring to sizes I don't stand on the scale. Why? Because I retain a lot of water, but also I've realized that whether the numbers go up or down, the true determination is, do your clothes fit? Do your clothes fit? And why is it okay for you to change your style of clothes? Change what it is that you like to wear, but the skin that you're wearing shouldn't change. There's no way at 30 years old we can expect our bodies to look like they did when we were 18. But it also doesn't help for us to reminisce on how we should have kept ourselves young and fit when we were 18, because that's just not the way life goes. You will go through periods and episodes of your life, and what I have found is, if you do not love yourself and find happiness within yourself, listen, a lot of you would be jumping right on that Ozempic train. Why? Because skinny is back in fashion again. Terrible beauty standards. Where are people's waists? It makes me think that people don't have ribs, but that's a story for another day. What I'm saying is, we're creatures of change. And I wish the 18-year-old me would have known that the 16-year-old me was beautiful. Like I knew that the size 38 of me was beautiful. I had to gain weight. I am swollen a lot of the time, and so having to find something other than physical beauty to ground myself has been difficult. I'm a girl, I'm trying to look cute, okay? Why must I look cute? But it's been difficult. So I urge you and I implore you, male or female, when you look past the mirror, say, damn it, I look good, because you look good for that day. You might not be where you want to be, but you still look good. Because if you don't think you look good and you don't think you're happy, it doesn't matter how much weight you lose or how many BBLs you get, which, by the way, I've heard are very dangerous procedures. I've watched a lot of botched, so yeah. But at the end of the day, it's you versus you. With all of the pubic changes that I went through, the growth spurts, being the tallest person in class to actually finding somebody that's taller than me, which was a problem. I was really worried that I was going to be the taller person in the relationship, and according to movies, that didn't seem right. I don't have a type, but I do have deal breakers, and being taller than me is one of them. So if I am happy, radiant and glowing, and you are happy, healthy, radiant and glowing, whether you're on the journey of losing weight or you're at a place of contentment, your body will change. And that's the moral of the story, I guess. Enjoy who you are now, because just like your state of mind, just like your emotions, just like your seasons, your body's allowed to change. Just allow it. Anyway, that is my rant on body positivity. Be healthy, be safe, love yourself, shower yourself, give yourself a hug, give yourself some kisses, do that makeup, okay, get that manicure and pedicure, but love on you. You treat people the way that you would like yourself to be treated. So treat yourself like that first. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, that's all for me. It's Dating Silent Movie. Ingoma Mnandi yaphindwa, so come back on set for the next episode. And like I said, please follow me on Instagram. I want to be an influencer. At Soko from last night. Follow me on TikTok. I promise I'm going to try and be more active on that Clock app favorite blast from the past. Twitter, I tweet every now and again, so the LOS. You should be able to find me on there. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, please go to YouTube and subscribe so that even there they can hear. Follow on Spotify, follow on YouTube, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss a new episode. And it's all love. Remember to look at the good before you look at the bad. So as you go through your week, remember what's good. Bye.
Atingo memnandi yaphindwa Jack Atingo memnandi yaphindwa Jack Atingo memnandi yaphindwa Jack